everyone, back to the More YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a match preview for Newcastle United's upcoming game, the defence of the Carabao Cup, this Wednesday night at home against Bradford City. Now, normally in a Carabao Cup game, a lot of people go, I can't really bother with that. Really, it's just a distraction from the Premier League, from the Champions League. But I think this game is quite essential to Newcastle United, and I'll explain why. We need a win. We need a confidence boosting win. We need to beat a team. We need to remember what that really feels like. You know, we beat Wolves 1-0. Wolves aren't a great side. They look like relegation fodder, to be honest with you. My mate's a Leeds fan. Leeds beat them 3-1 the other day, and I said, well done. And he said, mate, they are dreadful as a side. So I'm not going to take too much solace in the victory against Wolves, to be honest with you. The only victory so far this season. But Newcastle United need some confidence back into this squad. Remember how to beat a team. Let a few things gel, a few things click, and get a good result in the lead up to Arsenal at home at the weekend, which is a huge game. And it could be really interesting, that game, to be fair. It could show you just how far away we are, or it could, again, show you how close we can be to the best teams in the Premier League. But let's get stuck into the lineup on this one. It's a bit weird trying to guess an Carabao Cup lineup, or an FA Cup lineup for that matter. It's a bit like Guess Who, isn't it, really? You kind of throw your cards in the air and see who lands. But this is the team that we've gone for. I think will be Aaron Ramsdale coming in goal. Very interesting to see Ramsdale in goal. He's a very different goalkeeper to Nick Pope, who's done well this season so far. You can't really slag Nick Pope off. He's made some good saves when he's needed to. Obviously, Ramsdale is better with his feet, so that probably pushes the team maybe 10 yards further up the park. The defence can step up a little bit more, midfield can step up a little bit more. Maybe that's what we need as a football team. We need to move up the park a little bit more to try and get more attacking threat into the lineup. It would be hard to measure it in this game, given the fact that Bradford are obviously a low league opposition, but doing very well. I'll get into them in a second. So I think Kieran Trippier will come back in at right back. He was rested for the game against Bournemouth, and rightly so. I think he's been looking a bit tired, a bit jaded. So I think Trippier will come in at right back. The centre-back pairing is anybody's guess, really. We've gone for Lascelles and Kraft in the middle there. Jamal Lascelles came off the bench. He did all right, actually, I thought, against Bournemouth. He looked quite sharp, quite fit. Certainly fit. He did pre-season, like a pub team player pre-season. So that's a good sign. And then we've got young Alex Murphy at left back. It could be Harrison Ashby. We don't know what's going to happen there. Or could it be Trippier and Ashby at right back? Who knows? Midfield, we brought Bruno back into the midfield. He was rested against Bournemouth. I think Bruno might start the game. He won't finish the game. He might start the game. Lewis Miley keep his place. I hope he does. Thought he did well against Bournemouth, without doing anything too brave. This is the kind of game where maybe Lewis Miley can open up and maybe take a shot from range or slip a through ball in, get that confidence back up, show us that player again that burst onto the scene a couple of years ago. And Joe Willock to continue in midfield. He was awful, I thought, at the weekend, but the lower league games kind of bring the best out of Joe Willock. Now, the front three, I think Anthony Gordon comes back in on the left, because obviously he can play in this game. He needs some minutes as well before he probably starts against Arsenal at the weekend. Willis Sula through the middle there. And we've got, I think it's Alanga on the right-hand side, who obviously didn't start the game. Now, that's a strong enough team to take care of Bradford. Bradford are flying really high. They've beat their kind of league favourites in League One, I think, isn't it, at the minute? So they're doing really, really well. And they're nothing to be scoffed at. Bradford City, once upon a time, were a Premier League team. I remember Benito Carboni and everything else as well. So it's one of them teams that, like to remember the old days where they were playing against the kind of best teams in the country, and their fans would be bang up for this. It'd be a good trip for them, a couple hours up the road. I've done that drive many times in the day job, so a couple hours trip up the road for them, a few beers, probably in Newcastle beforehand as well, getting to the ground. They'll love being back at the Premier League ground, and they'll be bang up for this, as will their players, because this is a big fixture for them. But Newcastle have got to assert their dominance in their kind of elite level of fitness and quality on this game. There's been a lot of respect shown recently. I was on with the guys from True Faith the other day, and we were talking about this on their Patreon channel, just to say that Newcastle are showing a little bit too much respect to teams in the minute. Granted, it was Barcelona we were talking about. You got to respect and love Barcelona, but I want to see Newcastle rock up and say, fuck this, we're going to beat these lot, we're going to smash these lot. That's what we need to do. We need to smash a team. And I respect Bradford, and I hope they have a great season. I hope they get promoted, but we need to smash these teams. We really do. We need some confidence back in the ranks. In a cup game, this could be just the tonic that we need to just get things clicking and moving again. Give some players a chance to impress the manager, and I think that's what we need. So I'm hoping we're going to go for a Newcastle win, and I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win from Newcastle. I want to see a dominant performance. I want to see goals. I want to see it click. and then we can go into Arsenal with a little bit of confidence, a little bit of a spring in our step, and hopefully give them a really good game on Sunday and get the points. We've done it before and we can do it again, but we need to start getting wins on the board. But let us know in the comments below. Do you like the lineup? Do you agree with the lineup? Would you change anybody? What do you think Eddie's going to do? Do you think we're going to win the game, or are you a bit concerned that we can't score a goal at the moment? Will it continue into this game? Always like to hear from you. Like and subscribe. Keep it evermore. Have a cracking day. We'll be back with a live post-match reaction to the game on Wednesday night. Come and join us in the chat. We'll see you later. Cheers.
Eddie Howe's heroes celebrate. They have done it.